Pastelitos, these are sweet cream cheese. This is tres leche, which means 3 milk. It's kind of like a sponge cake that you add regular milk, condensed milk, and evaporated milk.
Where are we right now?
We are in the Cubanest corner of all of New York City. Pilar Cuban Restaurant and Pilar Cuban Bakery. Bed-Stuy, New York. My name is Ricardo Barreras. In Miami, it's very typical for restaurants to have a bakery next door and a coffee window. People gather around the window and just kind of hang out, drink coffee. So I'm not inventing anything, I'm just recreating it in Brooklyn. Miami, when I grew up, was Cubans that fled Castro and first generation Cubans like myself. The grocery store was Cuban, the hardware store was Cuban.
What are some of the Cuban classics you have here?
Well, you gotta begin with the bread, the Cuban bread.
It smells so good.
That's something that Cubans, they die for. It's kind of like eating a soft pillow. One of the airiest breads you're ever gonna see. We get the best bread from Miami. They've been doing it for decades. We're not gonna make it better than them. We give it imported here, we proof it, and then we bake it daily. That's the perfect Cuban bread right there. Cuban breakfast is basically café con leche, which is Cuban coffee and steamed milk, and then the buttered toast that you dip in. That's our breakfast. And then the pastelitos, which are Cuban pastries. Every shape corresponds to a filling. The square ones are always guava, and the round ones are savory. It's picadillo, which is a seasoned ground beef. The traditional thing at a Cuban bakery is you see all these things and you get a box. Give me 2 croquettes and 2 pastelitos, get some empanadas, put them in the box, get the Cuban bread, take it home, and make everybody happy. You could have probably just opened an empanada shop and we would have been fine because everybody goes crazy with it. It's shredded chicken and sofrito. Sofrito being the base of Cuban food. Onions, peppers, garlic, tomato, sauteed, a lot of spices, cumin, oregano, bay leaf, and then the classic olives and raisins. We love the sweet and the savory. Cuban sandwiches, smoked ham, roast pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, and yellow mustard. The roast pork, we marinated in sour orange for 24 hours. There's a lot of flavor.
Do you feel like this place has Cuban food lessons to offer people who don't know much about Cuban food? Are people coming in here and experiencing things for the first time?
Oh, all the time. It was very interesting to see that New Yorkers who are so sophisticated when it comes to food, and they know like Indian dishes and what's tandoori, what's vindaloo, and they can name Vietnamese dishes and Korean dishes. And when it comes to the most basic things about Cuban food, they're not familiar with. People ask for guacamole and chips. They're like, no, we don't have guacamole. It's that we don't have quesadillas. We're not gonna, rag on you because you don't know, but
right.
We're gonna teach you. It's fun. On the back of our menu for the restaurant, we have a Cuban Food 101. Cuban food is weird in a way that almost every other country on the or close to the equator has heat, has chilies in their food. And Cubans have no tolerance for anything hot. A lot of Spanish that came to Cuba were from northern Spain. They weren't used to eating that. It's our creation. It's a guava cream cheese pie. Guava cream cheese is peanut butter and jelly for us. We eat that weekdays with a cracker and that's it. We made it into a pie. We really tried to utilize as much as possible Cuban ingredients. Rum, plantain, red pudding, coffee blanc. If it's not a typical Cuban dessert, we Cubanize it.
How do you hope people feel when they walk in here?
Oh, I definitely want them to feel transported like if they've gone into South Beach or Miami.